just don't think we have that type of technology. Seriously, I don't. I just don't.
Maybe we don't. I don't know. I just don't know. I would like to know. How do we find out, Gary?
Ask Trump.
Okay. You got his number? I got a pen here. Oh,
yeah,
never mind.
1-800-555. No, I don't have his number. Why would I have my idol's phone number?
I don't know. Hey, get a shout out to all the truckers out there. And I was reading a little article here, some of the most haunted places on Route 66. And one of them is the Tri-County Truck Stop in Villa Ridge, Missouri. So all the truckers out there, if you want to get a little scare, I guess it's a haunted truck stop.
I guess it would be, because think about that, And again, you said a shout out to all the truckers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Yeah, we had to put that plug in there. Without the truckers, we wouldn't be growing like we're growing.
That's true. And look at all the reports that some of the truckers have called in with some of the stuff they've seen out, late at night, maybe out in West Texas or Arizona or wherever. And some of the things they've seen from UFOs to weird things to spirits end up on the road, hitchhikers, craziness.
Well, I had a trucker here, message me the other day, and I messaged him back. I'm waiting to see if he wants to come on the show. He's kind of nervous about coming on the show. But again, this is in Texas. It seems like it's a lot in Texas for some reason. But he said he was on the main, road, making his long haul at the night. And he saw a UFO off the side, hovering above the ground and then taking off. And it was triangle shaped.
Another triangle-shaped one. Interesting.
And it was flashing all colors of he said it was flashing weird colors and all this stuff. And it just was taken off the ground or floating above the ground. And then it took off and went poof, it was gone.
Wow. That would definitely get your attention.
Well, yeah, I would. The same with the other trucker, saying, hey, I just saw a cow going head first up in the sky. Well, unless cows grow, wings and can fly, I don't know. It's interesting. But the truckers always seem to have interesting stories, of people hitchhiking. They pull over and then they get the hitchhiker in the truck and they're talking for 10, 15 minutes, And then, they'll say, hey, well, stop here. This is where I need to get off. It's the middle of nowhere. And, they pull over and they open the door for him and they're gone. Or you're talking to somebody, right? Wouldn't that be scary? You're in a cab of a truck and you either a male or female and you picked them up and you're talking back and forth for maybe half an hour, and they're telling you their life story. But you're looking at them like, wow, bell-bottom pants today, with checkers on it. But anyway, you're sitting there talking to them, right? And then all of a sudden you really concentrate on, you're driving. And all of a sudden the conversation stops and you turn your head. They're not in the cab anymore. Where did they go?
That would be scary. I got to tell you, that would get my attention real quick for sure. My goodness. Hey, there's a report in here that came in today of a tall red-eye cryptid in the Richmond, Illinois area. Apparently, a father and son wanted to go to McDonald's, get something to eat, and while they were en route, on Route 173 actually, they saw something that was very tall, 6 to 7 feet, hunched over, looking with the brightest red eyes we've ever seen. It looked as if it were floating or hopping. And I guess that really scared him. And then it got close to the car. It got within about 10 to 20 feet of the car, and the kid was just totally freaking out. And they got out of there real fast after that. Oh. But that would freak you out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it would. And then in California, I guess there's a report with MUFON that a witness watched a craft twice the size of a large UFO just kind of hover and then vanish.
Oh, it just totally, it didn't just boom, go a big distance.
Well, I don't know. It could have, but it just said vanish. Okay. I don't know how it, vanish on these things. When they take off, they're gone instantly. You don't even see them when they're gone. They're just gone.
That's the thing, that sometimes they leave so fast, it's almost as if they disappear. So it kind of makes me question, did they like really disappear, or did they just move so fast that it looked like they disappeared? Either way, it's technology that's, if we were in it, like we've said, we would be mush.
Oh, yeah. And in Nevada, again, this is credited from MUFON, a resident of Nevada watched a giant moth flying in the sky.
A giant moth?
Yeah,
interesting.
Humanoid.
Oh, okay, so pretty much like a Mothman. And this was in Nevada.
This is in Nevada. And then here's another one. Military helicopter is escorting 3 UFOs. And this is reported in Eatonville, Washington.
Oh, wow, that's interesting. Washington, that's your state. I got to tell you,
no, I'm in Nebraska. Where did you ever think I was in Washington?
Oh, you're not in Washington, D.C.?
No, I wish. No, I'm actually in Washington. But, Nebraska, I like it because you know what? You can get corn really cheap.
I bet you can. You probably get abducted out there out in the middle of nowhere in them flatlands. I mean, it's just, there's a lot of just nothing roads out there. West Texas, a lot of them areas, even Nevada. You just drive forever and you see nothing.
Well, in Nevada, again, in Pahrump, my favorite town, that's where my friend was from and lived, reported seeing, human-like creatures, but not humans, just like walking around.
No, that would send a hair right up the back of your neck if you've seen something like that. I wonder, too, this time of year, if it's somebody just out in costume, or makes you kind of wonder. I know one thing, if you are doing that, I don't do it, because you're liable to get run over or shot, for the love of God.
Well, if you're going to wear a costume, don't wear a Bigfoot one.
Oh, that's a bad idea. Oh.
I came under fire for that the other day when I said we need to get proof to end this little thing about Bigfoot, because, it's getting really strange out there about Bigfoot. It's getting from, being a biological creature now to being, a ghost-like creature, or a, entity that is not flesh and blood, of the paranormal or alien connected. You know what? The whole thing is, people seem like they're grasping at straws on this, because people that actually been in the field and hunting Bigfoot for many years are swaying over to this other side. I don't understand it. I don't know how they could make that decision, because, of the proof of the footprints and supposedly hair being found and scat being found. I do, and people, including like Ed Romans or myself, that, claimed that they saw a Bigfoot. It certainly wasn't something, ghostly or something in the paranormal. It was a biological creature. And, I don't understand, these people go out looking for Bigfoot, why they don't carry the right type of stuff. Before, if you got some Bigfoot prints, okay, and you got like 20 of them or 15 of them, right? Do you need to make a cast of every one of the footprints? I would be sitting there, honestly. I would have a bottle, maybe a pint-sized bottle or a quart-sized bottle with me, or some type of container, and I would get some of that soil where that footprint was, okay, and just scoop it in there and put it in there, and then have it analyzed for Bigfoot, because the Bigfoots don't wear shoes unless they wear shoes that look like a big, giant human footprint. I think you would be able to get some DNA. Hey, guys, think about that, huh? Think about that.
That's very good ideas. I've said it before. When I go out, if I find a print, I usually take a little shovel. I'm going to dig the whole thing out and take the whole thing to check for the DNA, like you're mentioning, because you're right. Hair, maybe skin follicles, something. Maybe it might even cut its foot and left a little trace of blood. There could be DNA there. It's definitely worth trying to maybe get something. It's definitely, and I got to say this, Gary, what you encountered, would you say that was a spirit chasing you, or would you say that was a flesh and blood?
I'm going to be honest with you. It was no spirit, and it didn't give off orbs. It didn't try to communicate with me. It was biological. Okay. Otherwise, come on. If it was something else, why would my wife's car come back with a huge dent in the front fender on the passenger side, let alone the part of the door creased from the rock that it threw. Okay, and I wouldn't have smelled what I smelled. I wouldn't have seen it bend a tree over like it did, and I wouldn't have seen it run like it ran. It wouldn't need to have to run after me. It could have disappeared where it was at and appeared where the car was. It didn't have to run. Okay, it could have just done it on its own. It just could have, shape shift over to another area. That's why I'm saying it's biological. And I'm sorry, but I guess you know what? You can sit there and believe what you want to believe. Just like people say that, hey, alien abductions don't happen. There's no such thing as UFOs, and there's no such thing as lollipops.
I agree with you on the biological part. I got to tell you something else, Gary. I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall for two conversations. The one where you told your wife, and the other one when you called the insurance company to tell them what happened. I'm just saying.
I honestly didn't tell the insurance company what happened. I just told them that I came out to the car and it was there. I mean, could you imagine calling up Progressive Insurance and saying, oh, even back then, right? Oh, I was up in the Canadian Rockies, middle of nowhere, and I ran into a Bigfoot. It chased me and, threw a huge rock, and that's why there's a dent in the car. Are you going to cover it? And they're going to ask me what I was smoking or what I was drinking or what I was on. No, thank you. And they wouldn't have paid the claim. Hey. Now, I want to say something. Listeners out there, you need a sign up on the Speaker app. Go on to Speaker Radio app and sign up. And then if you sign up and type in Night Dreams Talk Radio After Dark, or actually on that app, you just want to type in Night Dreams Talk Radio. You can then get into the chat and you can ask us questions, because you know what's driving me freaking crazy? I'm getting people emailing me like mad. They're at home or whatever, right? And they're listening to the show. They're sending me emails when they could be making it easier for both them and me. If they go on to the app and then they can ask questions. It's like James Jr. just did. It makes it easier. And that way I don't have to keep going back and checking my emails, because I get literally a couple hundred of a day, if not more. And it makes it hard. And then on my phone right now, I'm getting a whole bunch of messages from Messenger asking me these questions right now about Bigfoot, and all this stuff, when you can go onto the app. It doesn't cost you anything.
No, and you know what? If they get on that app, they can ask in real time questions to the host, you or me, or the guest, and get responses. They don't have to wait like in a Gmail or whatever. So if you want to ask questions to the host or the guest, that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, and if I don't answer, James, because he is my cohort here, he can answer, some of the questions for you, because I'll be honest with you. I explained to James here today what is involved in running this show. 5 monitors right now. Okay. I'm controlling 5 different monitors. I'm sending out on the internet through Speaker. I also am sending out on another app. I'm sending out to the radio stations. And then I got a computer loaded up here that has all the intro music and all that stuff and intros to the show. And then I got another computer, running Skype, and another computer, it's multitasking. It's running Skype and, a couple other things. And then I have one that the radio stations, sit there and say, hey, when are we going to break? I have to monitor all this stuff, plus talk and interview people. So, I mean, it'd be really a lot easier if you get on to Speaker app, okay, and, chat with us that way. Let us know. I mean, it'd make it easier than me having to pick up my cell phone, okay, and running my battery dead. But anyway, that is important to do. And while you're on Speaker, just click on that you like the show, that you like us.
Yeah, and, I've always monitored why the show's going on, so their questions will not be ignored. I will make sure that you or me or whoever it's directed to will get addressed and answered.
Yeah. I think people are just so used to using, Messenger or email that they prefer that. And again, maybe a lot of people are not listening through the Speaker. They're listening through iTunes and all them other ones. So I can maybe see it, and that's why they're messaging the way they are. Anyway, it's time for break. We'll be back. We should have Sam on, and we'll be talking roundtable the last half